Iran is once again at the center of a major global flashpoint. France, Britain, and Germany have warned they are ready to trigger the United Nations snapback mechanism, a move that could instantly restore sweeping sanctions on Tehran over its nuclear program. But what exactly is the snapback? Why are European powers threatening it now? And what does this mean for Iran, the United States, and the stability of the wider Middle East? In this video, we break down the entire issue, the stakes for global security, and what could happen next. France, Britain, and Germany, collectively known as the E3, have now warned Tehran they are ready to activate the snapback mechanism, a process that automatically reimposes all pre-2015 United Nations sanctions on Iran. They accuse Iran of willfully and publicly breaching the 2015 nuclear deal, which had lifted sanctions in exchange for Iran restricting its uranium enrichment program to civilian use levels. The sanctions that could return are extensive, covering a conventional arms embargo, restrictions on ballistic missile development, asset freezes, travel bans, and a ban on producing nuclear-related technology. In July, European negotiators even offered Iran a delay in triggering snapback if Tehran agreed to 3 conditions: resume talks with Washington, grant UN inspectors access to nuclear sites, and explain the over 400 kilograms of highly enriched uranium it holds. Tehran, which is now enriching uranium close to weapons-grade levels, rejected this proposal. The United States and Iran attempted to revive the deal earlier this year, but negotiations collapsed after Israel bombarded Iran's nuclear and military sites, followed by U.S. airstrikes on June 22nd. The snapback process itself is designed to bypass vetoes from Russia or China at the Security Council. Once a participant notifies the UN about Iran's non-compliance, a 30-day countdown begins. During that period, a new resolution to continue sanctions relief must pass. But the US, Britain, and France would likely veto such a resolution, meaning all sanctions automatically return without another vote. Time is running out. The legal authority to trigger snapback expires on October 18th. Moreover, Europe wants to act under South Korea's Security Council presidency in September, before Russia assumes the rotating presidency in October. Why does Europe believe snapback is necessary? In May, the UN's nuclear watchdog IAEA reported Iran's uranium stockpile, enriched to 60%, reached 408 kilograms. At 90% enrichment, this could produce material for 9 nuclear weapons. Iran's total enriched uranium stockpile now exceeds 9,200 kilograms, far above the 300-kilogram cap set in the 2015 deal. Iran has also removed IAEA monitoring equipment and barred veteran inspectors, making independent verification difficult. Tehran insists its nuclear program is for peaceful energy purposes and argues it has the right to abandon the deal since Washington withdrew in 2018 under Donald Trump and reimposed U.S. sanctions. Iran further warns that triggering snapback could push it to withdraw from the Global Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Iran is concerned about the consequences of the revival of United Nations sanctions under a measure known as the snapback mechanism, its foreign ministry spokesperson said on Tuesday, August 26th, as Iran and 3 European powers hold nuclear talks in Geneva.
The lifting of sanctions at this particular time will, of course, be the subject of Resolution 2231, and the future situation as it relates to this resolution will be part of these negotiations. And in return for the trust building and transparency that has existed so far regarding the peaceful nature of Iran's nuclear program. In this regard, no substantive change has occurred in the topic of the negotiations. We say that we will not surrender under any circumstances under threats or using such mechanisms, snapback mechanism, as a bat to gain concessions. We are focused on advancing national interests with the characteristics that we have in mind and that are consistent with international law. But ultimately, the Security Council has its own mechanism. It has 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members. Decision-making is also made based on well-known procedures in this council. However, this will not negate our principled position that the 3 European countries do not have the right to return the sanctions resolutions against Iran under any circumstances.